You know, it was late last season that Lindor switched his walk-on music to My Girl, but it really wasn't until October that the fans started singing along. I mean, that's just awesome.
That's awesome.
That's great.
And he lines the first pitch into left center for a base hit. So Lindor is going to try for two. The throw to second base, and he is out. Anthony Santander gunning down Lindor, trying to stretch a single into a double. And Lindor waits to see if the Mets challenge the call, and they're going to challenge it.
I thought he got his left hand in on the left part of the bag, third base side of the bag before the tag.
Talking with Andres Hernandez, two guys who were traded for each other, and I don't know. Did he get the right arm?
I don't think he made the tag. He missed him.
He got that left hand in before he made the tag. And Jimenez is as good a defender in the game.
Three-time Gold Glover at second base.
He dropped a swim technique on him. Right arm,
missed
take
the
it
tag.
away.
Oh, you're right. He's definitely safe.
How about a hustle double to start a home opener?
Bill Miller and Ron Kolpa are the crew chiefs in the replay center, and they'll make the determination. But Lindor, perhaps inspired by the sing-along, jumping on the first fastball he sees from Kevin Gausman. Play under review presented by Citizens, making sense of the play. Doug Eddings, the crew chief, made the call at second base.
After review, the call is overturned. The runner safe.
A very well executed swim move by Lindor, and the Mets win the challenge. And Lindor, with that, has his first extra base hit of the season. Kevin Gausman, who grew up in Colorado, played his college baseball at LSU. 1-2 to Alonso, and he lifts one out to right field, chasing Roden back to the warning track, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso goes the other way for a two-run homer. Just a little half swing, and he hits it out to the other field. His third home run of the year, and the Mets jump out to a 2-0 lead.
It's hard to pitch if you cannot get away with this pitch on Alonso. This is knees, outside corner, down, and he flicked it 375 feet.
The ball has really been carrying in the early season.
It sure has. And Pete, as we've mentioned in Miami, his whole focus right now, remember, he pulled too much last year, and his focus is into right center field right now.
3 home runs, 10 RBIs now for Alonso in his first 22 at-bats of the season.
Make that 57 home runs in the first inning, Gary.
First curtain call of the year. I mean, you've got to be awfully strong to do that, but that was a shocking home run.
Shocking. He is on the far first base side of that rubber, almost like he's thrown behind Soto.
And he lines one down the right field line. That's an extra base hit for Soto. Lindor to third. It's kicked around out there by Roden, so Lindor is going to be waved home. Jimenez makes the toss to the plate, not in time. Juan Soto with his first Citi Field hit as a Met, drives in a run with a double, and it's 3-0 New York.
Got himself a hanging slider.
Yeah, flat slider, huh, Keith?
Flat and too much plate. And the botch right there off the wall allows Lindor to score. Stays in. Boy, he really takes a stride, doesn't he?
Now they'll walk Alonso intentionally and bring up another left-hand batter for Fluharty to face. It is a double and an RBI for Soto. No error, despite the fact that Roden had trouble picking that ball up in the right field corner. So Nimmo bats with 2 on and 1 out. A run home here in the 6th to make it 3-0 New York. Nimmo has walked and flied out 0 for 1. Soto at second, Alonso at first.
And he drives one down the right field line. That's going to go to the wall. Soto around third. He will score. Alonso will be held at third. Brandon Nimmo with an RBI double to make it 4-0 New York. So they bring in the left-hander out of the bullpen, and both Soto and Nimmo left on left produce extra base hits to drive in a run.
First ball, fastball hitting. Down, head out over the plate, right down the pipe, and good aggressive attack. Remember, Brandon, this is how far he's come. When he came up for years, would always take a first strike, first pitch. Not anymore.
Especially with guys on base.
Yep.
So Fluharty has faced 3 batters. They've all reached base, and now he'll come out of the game, and they'll bring the right-hander in, the former Met Jacob Barnes. Mets with a 4-0 lead and looking for more in the 6th. We'll be right back. There's a propensity for giving up the long ball.
And that's driven to center field. That'll get a run in. Springer makes the catch. Coming down the line is Alonso. The throw goes toward third, and it's 5-0 New York. Sacrifice fly for Starling Marte, and the Mets have scored 3 times here in the 6th inning.
One of my favorite things is for an offense is to watch a pro at bat, right? Goes up there, gets a sac fly, gets the runner in.
This bullpen has been terrific today. Garrett, Minter, Kranick. They've gotten 10 outs. 1 more to get. Wagner pops one up.
Lindor makes the call, and the ball game is over. For the 13th time in their history, the Mets get a shutout in the home opener, as Tyler McGill in the bullpen throw a 4-hitter. Pete Alonso's first inning home run, all the offense the Mets needed. And the Mets blank the Blue Jays 5-0 to go over 500.
Well, only 4 hits, Garrett, but like you said, 5 runs. The 2-run home run to right field was all the Mets really needed in the first inning. Pete's 3rd home run and his 10th RBI of the season. Also, Soto got his first RBI as a Met here at Citi Field. Nimmo as well.
The maturation of McGill continues. Last 8 starts, the Mets are 8-0.
So a happy day at Citi Field. The Mets blank the Blue Jays 5-0. That's now 42-22 in home openers, 12-5 at Citi Field as they send nearly 44,000 folks home happy. Today's win.
They saved him for this atmosphere instead of asking Easton Lucas to make this start today. They picked the right man for this game.
Lindor leads it off. And lines it into left center, a base hit. And he is on his way to second. The throw in time. And Lindor thrown out, trying to stretch a single into a double. Will the Mets challenge? Carlos Mendoza, the Mets manager, looking back, and they are going to ask for a challenge. Lindor and Jimenez, who were once traded for one another as part of a larger deal, talking it over at second base.
The New York Mets are challenging the alcohol at
But a
second base.
terrific play by George Springer and a quick tag by Andres Jimenez as Lindor is initially called out. You can see he takes his right hand away and uses his left hand, and he may have avoided the tag of Jimenez. But a terrific play by Springer to back up the left fielder, Santander. He was right there. Once the ball got past Santander, George fielded and threw a strike to second.
They are chanting MVP, and again, Lindor was the runner-up last year in the National League. behind Shohei Ohtani. And it does appear as if we're seeing more angles and more replays on the scoreboard here at Citi Field as well. It does appear as if he got that handed safely.
Yeah, and that's a slide a lot of these guys will use when they go in head first. They'll extend one hand, then take it away and use their other hand to avoid the tag. Take a look at his left hand. He
After review,
reaches.
the call is overturned. The runner's safe. We are safe return.
So it's a double for Lindor on the first pitch thrown by Gausman. And now here. 1-2. Reaching for it, hit in the air to right. This one's carrying. It's still going, and it's gone. Man, a 96-mile-an-hour fastball away, and Pete Alonso strong enough to almost flick his wrists at it and hit it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, Alonso's had some big home run seasons, including 53 in his rookie season, and that's a good pitch. Maybe off the plate outside, but Alonso is so strong he stays on it and knocks it out of the ballpark in deep right field.
What a start to the season for him, and what a start for the Mets here in the very first inning. Already 2-0. Brandon Nimmo now the batter, their left fielder. And a curtain call already for Alonso. He was just out of the dugout.
Sweepers, and C.J. Abrams hit a RBI double off of that, fifth one.
Sweeper there, line to right, and it's down for a base hit. Lindor around to third and getting the wave and will come in to score. And the Mets increase their lead.
Well, he threw him the first pitch sweeper and comes right back with the same pitch, and this one stays on the inside part of the plate, right out over the middle. I don't think I would have thrown back-to-back sweepers to Soto in his first look at Fluharty. Throw him that cutter and a fastball he throws that cuts just to show him a second pitch. Don't give him the same information on the first pitch he saw. And as great a hitter as he is, he comes up with an RBI double.
That makes it 3-0, and now the Blue Jays just intentionally walked Alonso.
If you throw Soto a first pitch sweeper and he looks at it, he's studying that first pitch, and then you come back with the same pitch. It's got the same spin, and it's over the plate, and he took advantage of it. I'd have thrown a cutter. I'd have thrown his fastball that cuts away. Give him a different look. Here's
Nimmo, a walk and a fly ball. And he lines one to right field, and that's trouble. Up against the wall on a bounce. Soto is in. Alonso's going to be held. Nimmo with an RBI double. It is 4-0.
This team is gotten off to a good start in their home opener. Another breaking ball that stays on the inside part of the plate. He didn't get it away from Nimmo. And Nimmo connects his first double of the season, an RBI double to the wall in right. Alonso stops at third. Don't give in to Marte right here. You got a base open.
Liner to center. Springer the catch. Alonso tags, and it comes in to score. The sac fly makes it 5-0.
One out walk to Lindor. First of 3 runs to score here in the 6th. Top of the order.
These are not quiet, timid fans. These folks love their Mets. I mean, it's loud in the Bronx too. It's got a bit of a different feel here than there, but I mean, boy, when this team is good, These fans love it as much as any fan base in the majors. And they're pretty happy right now. That's a 5-0 win for the home side on opening day. Juan Soto, a nice catch, an RBI double. Pete Alonso, a 2-run homer. Smiles all around as the Mets beat the Blue Jays 5-0.
Yeah, man, you know what? They have a very good bullpen, and for a second straight start against the Blue Jays, Tyler McGill was really good. 5 1/3, no runs on 2 hits. He walked 3 but struck out 3, and then the bullpen came in and really slammed the door on the Blue Jays offense. Reed, Garrett, A.J. Minter, and Max Krennic just shut down the Blue Jays. They combined to strike out 6 in the last 3 2/3 innings.
Again, the final, the Mets 5 and the Blue Jays nothing. The Jays now 5-3. We will see you tomorrow night, but time now to go visit Jamie and Joe in the Home Hardware Studio.
What a great scene right now at Citi Field as Francisco Lindor gets set to lead off the bottom of the first, with the Blue Jays having gone down in order against Tyler McGill. Well, in case you wondered, now that he's the father of a boy as well as 2 girls, he's staying with the classic Temptation song My Girl as his walk-up. But remember, Francisco just 2 for 20 at the plate to start. He got a standing ovation from this crowd, owing, of course, to his tremendous season a year ago, plus support for the slow start this year. And the first pitch to him, line the other way, base hit going into left center field for Lindor. Picked up by the center fielder Springer. Lindor digging for second, the throw, the slide. He's out at second base. Lindor, trying to stretch 1 into 2, is thrown out. And he responded immediately to the support of the crowd. And he's not so sure that that call is accurate. John Gibbons is on the phone, and he wants the Mets to challenge this.
Yeah, Lindor came into second base, arms spread out wide, so 1 wide to the left, 1 wide to the right, and Andres Hernandez brought the tag toward the middle of the bag. And so as Hernandez went to the middle, it looked like Lindor got the left hand in. On the left side of second base, his left hand going in. Hernandez went to the middle of the bag. I think he is safe at second base. We have to get a determinate look here, but I think the Mets might win this challenge. I think he avoided the tag.
As long as that hand stayed on the bag, I would have to agree with you. But again, we've got to wait, as we were surprised at one particular overturned call in Miami a couple of days ago. Second base umpire is Doug Eddings. He calls a lot of strikes, and I guess he likes to punch a lot of people out too, whether he's right or wrong. So we're waiting for the final adjudication here. But I think the early indication from what we've seen is that Lindor is going to be safe at second with a double on the first pitch by Gausman. Still waiting, though.
And in Doug Eddings' case, he's the one that made that call at second base. Throw looked like it was there. Jimenez turned to put the tag as Lindor's sliding in. So to the naked eye, even up here, it looked like he was probably out. The old throw beat him.
The call's overturned. The runner's safe.
Swam around the tag. Just genius job by Lindor reading it the whole way. Jimenez had his back to Lindor running. And Francisco did a great job of that left hand to get around the glove.
The reason just to keep Lindor as close as possible, and then Jimenez will back into position as the pitch is delivered. Here's the 1-2. Alonso reaches, hits it in the air to right field, pretty deep. Roden back onto the track at the wall. He jumps. It's gone! Pete Alonso, a 2-run homer to right field in his first plate appearance back at Citi Field since re-signing with the Mets. And these fans are stoked. Lindor scores in front of him. Number 229 lifetime for Pete, his 3rd of the year. The Mets are leading by a score of 2-0.
And even though we've seen Pete Alonso in this uniform for a long time, this approach this year is so much different. He had 2 strikes on him pretty quick, and he fought and he fought, and he got a pitch at the knees outside corner that might have put him away last year, stayed on it and hit it out. He's been so different already this year.
So here is Brandon Nimmo. Brandon has been on base in all 6 games. First pitch, in for a called strike, a slider, 0-1. Boy, you couldn't draw it up any better than this, right? Lindor, the first pitch he sees, there's a curtain call from Alonso, who pumps his fist. Very 1986-ish.
And you know what's weird, too, is that there was, I don't know if it was a good chance, but there was a chance that Pete would be in the building today on that side, in that dugout with Toronto. That was a team that was pretty much the next one to court him.
Fluharty's one of these kids, and He is only 23. He'll turn 24 in August. Who his entire professional career has been a reliever. The 1-0, line to right field, that is hugging the line. It's in for a hit. It's rolling to the corner. It goes to the wall. Reaching forward is Roden. Around third, Lindor. He's digging to the plate. Jimenez's relay throw is way too late, so Lindor scores, and standing at second with a double and a run batted in is Juan Soto. The Mets are leading by a score of 3-0.
And against Fluharty, left on left, Fluharty's sweeper is almost impossible to hit from the angle that he brings it in from. And so who makes it look easy? It's the guy making all the money. Is Juan Soto, left on left, sweeper off balance, but his bat is in the zone so long that he hits it off the end of the bat, and he's also strong enough to send it all the way to the wall and right. That's just masterful hitting for Juan Soto. And speaking of masterful hitting, the Blue Jays are going to intentionally walk Alonso and get him out of the way for another left-on-left matchup.
With Brandon Nimmo. Well, that's now the 3-0 lead. Big boys doing the damage. 2-run homer by Alonso. And an RBI double by Soto. Plus the double by Lindor in the first inning. Scored on Alonso's homer. And now it's Nimmo, the cleanup hitter, brought to you by Roto-Rooter. Leave plumbing to the pros at Roto-Rooter. Believe me, most of that stuff you wouldn't want to try yourself anyway. So here's Nimmo. First pitch on the way. That's line to right field. Going back Roden. He won't get it. It's in for a hit. It goes to the wall. Around third, Soto. He'll score easily. Alonso will be held at third, and pulling into second with a double and a run batted in is Brandon Nimmo. The Mets have a 4-0 lead. And if Fluharty's in there to get left-handers, that does not work out for him.
I think John Schneider's finding that out about his young rookie lefty here, but you know, he's thrown into the fire. Fluharty is against two guys that have always hit lefties well, Soto and even Brandon Nimmo. I mean, Nimmo's always been so locked in left on left, and here comes John Schneider again. It was the 3-batter minimum, even though he didn't even face Alonso, put him on for free, but as you said, Fluharty in to get lefties. That didn't work.
Nope. Plus the intentional walk to Alonso. That completes his 3-batter mandate. And former Met Jacob Barnes will come in from the bullpen. It's brought to you by 2 hits and 3 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts, and a homer. 3-1 pitch. Swinging a liner to center. Springer dead in his tracks. Makes the one-hand catch. Alonso tags, and he'll score from third. Throw comes in towards second. Nimmo holds at second. So a sacrifice fly for Starling Marte, and the Mets have a 5-0 lead. 2 men away.
Yeah, so Marte was so good at in the postseason last year, was just simplifying in those moments. Something that the next batter here, Mark Vientos, wants to learn in the early going here about just driving in runners.
Martinez, if he can keep it going, Ernie Clement would be next. Kranick wants to end it right here. 1-1 the count to the left-hand batter. Now Kranick delivers. Swinging a high pop-up, shallow right field. Going back, Lindor, the shortstop. He makes the 2-hand catch. Put it in the books. What a splendid home opener for the New York Mets. There at Citi Field in 2025. Took an early lead on a home run by the Polar Bear, Pete Alonso. Great ovations for many of these players in the pregame introductions. Great pitching as 4 Mets pitchers led by starter Tyler McGill combined to shut out the Toronto Blue Jays in the home opener. In the 9th inning for Toronto, nothing across. The final score, the New York Mets 5 and the Toronto Blue Jays nothing. Back to talk about it in a moment on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Kicks.
And it'll be Kevin Gausman against Lindor, Soto, and Alonso. It starts with Francisco Lindor batting from the left side. The pitch. Swing and a line drive into left center field, a base hit. Jumped on the first fastball he saw. He's around first, headed to second. The throw from Springer in time, and Lindor is cut down to quiet down Citi Field. 1 out.
And I just don't really understand the aggressiveness right there. There's nobody out in the top of the, or sorry, in the bottom of the first inning. The baseball is right in front of you. You know that's going to be a tough double. I just don't understand that. A big out for Kevin Gausman.
Looks like the Mets are going to take a look at it, though. It was George Springer who came up throwing. The ball was there in time. Lindor is arguing that his slide got around it, and it looks like it did pretty clearly. So I think your point still stands, Chris, because frankly the ball beat him. But Lindor did the swim move on Hernandez and got to the bag before the tag.
Hernandez was going to tag that right hand that was sliding in alongside the left. And at the last second, Lindor, such a smart baseball player, pulled that right hand back and reached into second with that left arm. I mean, the slow motion replay is very clear. He beat that throw, but we'll see what the call is.
The MVP chance already for Lindor, who finished second in MVP last year to Shohei Ohtani. Still taking a look at it right now is the umpiring crew out there, so we await the replay decision coming from New York.
I'll tell you what, though, that was a heck of a slide.
After review, the call's overturned. The runner's safe.
So it'll be a leadoff double for Lindor. Boy, has he needed that. 2 for 20 to start the year. That serves as Lindor's first extra base hit of the season, and it came on the first pitch he saw at home.
Well, I'm going to double down on my opinion. There was really no need to take second base right there, especially since the throw beat him by so much.
Exciting year to be a Mets fan in a while. They just keep adding. 1-2 is hit down the right field line. Going back is Rodin at the wall. It's out of here. 2-run home run, Pete Alonso. He reaches out for a pitch just off the plate and hits it out for his third home run of the season. 2-0 Mets in the first.
Well, that shows you just how strong Pete Alonso is. Actually, a really good pitch, like you said, a fastball down and away, 96 miles an hour. He just reaches out and kind of pokes it to right field. I didn't think that ball had a chance, but Pete Alonso, such a strong hitter.
Hit it a little bit more to central right field than it initially looked and got it out. I mean, it's 370 out there.
And that ball was off the plate outside.
Very dangerous Mets lineup, and it continues here with Brandon Nimmo up the pitch.
Well, you can only imagine how Mason Fluharty is feeling right now. That heart is probably beating really, really quickly.
Blue Jays trailing 2-0 in the bottom of the sixth. Fluharty crossfires, and Soto lines it to right field. Fair ball bouncing onto the warning track. Lindor around second, headed for third. Rodin fumbles with it. Lindor getting the wave to the plate. He'll come in to score, and it's 3-0 for the Mets on the RBI double by Soto.
Well, like I've said a lot over the course of this season, when you're a reliever and you come in a ball game, and keep in mind, I know how Mason Fluharty's feeling right now. He's amped up, facing one of the best players in all of baseball. You have to throw strike one. Mason Fluharty falls behind there. Juan Soto knows that he has to come back with something over the middle of the plate. He throws a slider there, and he absolutely hammers that thing in the corner in right field.
Mets with their first hit and first run since the first inning. And the boos at Citi Field because they've elected to intentionally walk Pete Alonso with first base open. Alonso hit the 2-run homer earlier, is sent down to first base, and that'll be first and second with 1 out. And Brandon Nimmo up to the plate. By the way, that double closes the line on Kevin Gausman. 5 1/3 today. Only 2 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. A rare feat for Gausman. Pitch to Brandon Nimmo is roped to right field. That's down for a base hit and up against the wall. Soto coming around third to score. Alonso around third. He'll stop there. It's an RBI double for Nimmo, and it's 4-0 for the Mets with runners on second and third.
Good swing from Brandon Nimmo. Just a fastball right down the middle. Little four-seamer from Fluharty, and unfortunately for the Blue Jays, Nimmo's hammers that thing to the corner and right.
First double of the season for Brandon Nimmo, his 4th RBI on the year, and the Mets have reached 4 straight batters. Walk, double, intentional walk, double, and really changed this game.
I want to give Marte something that he can drive in a gap, but You still need to throw a strike here.
3-1 to Marte is hit well. Liner to center field, caught by Springer. Tagging from third, Alonso. Throw is cut off at shortstop, and it'll be a sac fly on a liner for Starling Marte. Now 5-0 Mets.
And that run right there is going to be charged Mason Fluharty. A really tough call right there. Will Wagner with the sour look on his face after that one.
Mets fans who have stuck around on their feet. It's the home opener for New York, and the 1-1 is popped up. Just back at second base, Lindor making the call for it, and he'll make the catch to end the game. The Mets shut out the Blue Jays, and the big boys come up clutch. It's 5-0 the final for New York in their home opener.
Well, Kevin Gausman actually pitched really, really well today. If you look at his line, it's really not that outstanding. He gave up 2 runs on 2 hits in that first inning, but other than that, he was really lights out, really good through the fastball where he wanted to. The split finger was good. The offense just didn't really come through today.
5-0 the final score. We're going to take a quick step aside, and then we'll wrap it up and get you over to Blue Jays talk. So don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.